And greetings to my subscribers. I admit I might be getting a little paranoid. Maybe I am. But even the paranoid among us may have enemies, or may have somebody trying to mess with them. Maybe. Yesterday I got entangled in a YouTube debate, via comments, with a well-prepared debater. And the subject of the debate was the central bank. She's against the central bank. Not all central banks, our central bank. She insists that banks are greedy? No. Banks are subject to corruption? No. Our banks are greedy in America and subject to corruption. And it is they, the greedy bankers, who have twisted the arms of congressmen and forced them and bribed them, coerced them to pass legislation so that the bankers can get filthy rich. In other words, the huge deficit of trillions of dollars and growing that the United States has, that's not the fault of Congress, that's the fault of greedy bankers. I'm too dumb to see the connection between America's huge debt and money flowing into the pockets of greedy, corrupt bankers in cahoots with, she says, Ben Bernanke of the Federal Reserve Bank, and before that, Alan Greenspan. In the mind of this person, Heidi, there is no greater threat to mankind than somebody like Alan Greenspan. And if you know who he is, if you've heard him speak, if you've seen his face, he doesn't appear to me to be very threatening. He appears to me to be, one, a man who has devoted his life to a very intense study of the intricate details of economics. And number two, a man that has done an excellent job and is entirely motivated by patriotism for the United States of America. Okay, but now here's the paranoia. As I attempted to win the debate with the well-placed point inserted exactly at the right spot, my comments didn't show up. And it's possible it was my fault. It's possible it's a YouTube glitch. It's possible that I had interference with my satellite connection, so that momentarily, for some reason, maybe it was a solar event, that interfered with the satellite, and I had intermittent transmission. But anyway, if you look at this debate, it looks like she kicked my ass, but she really didn't, because it looks like she just presented her points, blew me away, and I had nothing to say back. That's what it looks like. Okay, and so then shortly after that, and here I am kind of ragged out tired because this went on for hours. And that's tiring to me. It probably doesn't tire everybody, but that happens to tire me because I really think hard. And I don't type well. I'm not a good keyboarder. It's not effortless for me. It takes deliberate work for me to compose a message and post a message, a comment that is free of error, typos that distract the reader and totally, take away the impact, if there is any impact, and I hope there is. So then I find that my latest video that I uploaded yesterday is gone. And it's a video that was seen by all of you, and all of you commented on it. And it was entitled, Who is the Enemy? It's Gone, Gone, Gone. So I uploaded a kind of a crazy version. Here I am, tired and confused and suspicious of somebody inside YouTube. Of course, can't prove it, and I hope I'm wrong. But I thought if somebody in YouTube, inside YouTube, and somebody who's infiltrated YouTube and is toying with certain people on YouTube, because these infiltrators of YouTube are actually agents of the communist movement, they know who the conservatives really are, and they can target the conservatives with mind games, tricks, and whatever. And I think that that's possible. Now I don't know it to be true. Yes, it's starting to rain. And so after all this happened, I got a friend invite from a channel, Restrain No More, or No More Restraint, or I believe Restraint is in the name. I can't remember the exact name. So on this crazy video, the Twilight Zone video, after my description seems to have been deleted, I added a new description saying here's the link to this espionage channel set up to trap conservatives and to infiltrate conservatives. So here I am, falling apart. Spent too much time on YouTube, too much time debating, fighting, the communists. In other words, what happened to Joe McCarthy, of course, is happening to me, and it will tend to happen to every conservative. That's a part of the explanation why the communists are gaining the upper hand, because they're devious. They use the smear tactic, the dirty trick. That's what happened to Nixon, possibly, I believe, I suspect. That's what happened to Lyndon Johnson before him. I bet it happened to George W. It happened to a host of politicians, Tom DeLay. My mind, I can't remember the names of all of them, but there's a whole lot of conservatives that have been savagely, Sarah Palin, savagely smeared and practically driven from office, or had their reputations trashed. This is why communism is spreading, not because it's a great idea and it really works. It's spreading because those behind it are so devious and so intent on takeover. It's war, and it's primarily a media war. It's primarily a battle for individual minds, and as I say before, again, the key to understanding what's happening is Yuri Bezmenov. Yuri Bezmenov, the KGB defector, who explained what the Soviet KGB was doing. And I imagine it's not just the Soviets, it's the Chinese, and it's all of them. Lots and lots of spies, lots and lots of agents, tricksters, infiltrators, liars. It's mainly disinformation. It's mainly the use of disinformation